Hi students, this is Unit 1, Lesson 1, What is Psychology? In this lesson, I want you to be able to define psychology as a discipline and identify its goals as a social science. Before we begin the lesson, please take some time to brainstorm about your definition of psychology. There is a right answer, but there's also lots of other answers that are equally plausible. So please take some time, maybe pause the video and consider, what is psychology after all? And if you don't know, don't worry about it, just give your best guess. As you do that, I also want you to consider what are some of the benefits that you hope to gain by studying psychology, by taking this course. It's an elective, so why did you choose to take it? It is a fun course. There's lots of hands-on stuff that we get to do. Super fun. So please do those two things. Consider what's your definition of psychology, and then what do you really want to find out? What most interests you? I will be giving you a syllabus where you'll be able to see what units that we're going to be studying and like what really speaks to you. When you come to class, I want you to take some time to compare your definition of psychology to that of your classmates. What similarities do you have? What differences do you have? What did you include maybe that your neighbor did not include? We will investigate like what you think we're going to get into. We will then cover the actual definition of psychology, which is in the next few slides. So psychology is defined officially by the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. And so those root words, psych is mind, spirit, consciousness, what's going on in your brain, your head when you're thinking, and then ology is the study of. Furthermore, it is a social science. So what that means is they deal with the institutions and functioning of human society and with the interpersonal relationships of individuals as members of society. So that's a lot of gobbledygook that I'll further explain. Sometimes social sciences are called the soft sciences because they don't have exact qualifications like, say, something like physics or chemistry. What they do have are research methods that are stringent and well-defined so that we can quantify things like emotions, thoughts, feelings, perceptions. Like, how do you measure a person's perceptions? Well, that's part of a future lesson that we'll learn more about. Social sciences include fields like psychology, sociology, and anthropology, while the hard sciences, as I mentioned, are more like chemistry and physics, where there are hard line numbers that are non-negotiable. Psychology, again, the official definition is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes, and what makes it scientific are the research methods that we'll discuss later on. Behavior, then, when we consider this definition, is observable. And mental processes are the thinking side of things. So when you are sitting in class, perhaps, and you see your classmate get up to throw away a piece of paper, perhaps, you can actually observe that outward behavior. So you see the person stand up, walk to the trash can, throw the paper away, and go back to their seat. But what you don't see and what you don't know are what's going on in their brains. This long-held notion that they can't leave their desk a mess because when they did that when they were young, the teacher got on them and they got into trouble. Or maybe you observe somebody put gum under their desks. Don't do that. That's really gross. It is evil. And when people go to move those desks and stick their hand in gum, it's really a jerk thing to do. So don't do that. But you know, a person's behavior may see somebody do that. What you don't know is that their families don't like it when they chew gum because they have braces or something like that. So we don't know the mental processes is what I'm trying to get to. We can see the behavior, but we don't know what's going on in somebody's brain until we ask questions. Further, social sciences include sociology. Sociology is the interaction of group behavior. So psychology is an individual behavior, and sociology is how is the individual affected by belonging to a group. The official definition, human social behavior, especially the study of origins, organizations, institutions, and development of human society. What we mean by that is, say that you are male or female or figuring it out. That is, how does that affect you as you grow up? Being a member of the male gender versus female or not. Being a certain race or ethnicity, being Americanized, or maybe being, an an Asian living within American culture? How does that influence you? That's what sociology studies. Speaking of origins of institutions like schools, where did schools come from? Why are they the way that they are? Why, after COVID, have we gone back to 5 days a week school? Like, that's what sociologists will study. An anthropologist will study the scientific study of the origin, the behavior, and physical, social, and cultural development of humans. A philosopher will investigate the nature, causes, principles of reality, knowledge, or values based on logic rather than empirical methods. So thinking a lot about the state of nature and our environment. If a person is an archaeologist, they may go out into the field when ruins are discovered and investigate the cultural practices of these remains. History is one we've all been exposed to, which includes a chronological record of events that associates with development of people as institution, often including an explanation of our commentary on those events. So how does the last 50 years influence the present day? And transition here to the second set in our objective. What are the goals of psychology? So we just talked a little bit about social sciences. The goals of psychology is to study behavior and mental processes individually. No matter where a psychologist works or what they believe in, they're usually seeking the following goals when studying behavior. And these goals include to describe behavior. What does it look like? Explain it. Predict behavior. And influence/control. So it's control, but I always say influence because we want to maybe improve a behavior. Maybe we want to break a bad habit. That would be influencing and controlling behavior. If we go to a behavioral therapist is going to say, all right, you smoke cigarettes right now, let's replace that behavior with something that's more productive and better for you. So psychology's goals: describe, explain, predict, control human behavior. By studying psychology, and I posed this question to you at the beginning, what do you hope to gain? Well, here are just a few bullet points on what we will gain. We will explore influences of society on your behavior and your group relationships. So it's really, you come into this class maybe thinking you're going to find out more about other people, but we really find out more about ourselves. You'll learn how to think like a scientist when it comes to human behavior. Like, there's more to a behavior than just going to throw the paper away. You're also carrying with you lots of other things. We will learn more about social and biological aspects of human behavior because when you are sick, you don't feel like doing anything. So your behavior is altered. So your mental and physical well-being are all a part of an integrated system. We will, in this class, work on projects together. You'll do it alone. You'll solve problems. You'll work with a team. And you'll think you'll learn more about other people, but mostly you'll learn more about yourself. I promise you that. So to review, psychology, remember, is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes. Psychology is grouped into the category of a social science. That's why it's a social science credit. It's a history credit. The goals of psychology are to describe, explain, predict, and control human behavior. And when you are taking psychology, some people may think that you're able to read their minds. Well, no, but you may more intuitively be able to gather what can possibly be on their mind as you learn more about behavior. And just to review once again, remember that we are defining psychology and its goals in this lesson.